Welcome to Never Shut Up. Aloha, aloha. Y'all can see my view, baby. I saved $5 of them from Jerry Jones, didn't I? Oh, man, welcome to Never Shut Up. It's your boy, Marcellus Wiley. Yes, I actually in HAWA, and I'm loving life right now, even though it's been some obstacles in our path. I'll discuss that with you guys in a second. But, of course, we're going to have an amazing show no matter where I am, because I love doing this show, love connecting with you guys, and we're doing amazing things. So let's get into it right now, starting off with what's up with that dude. Well, obviously, took that 5-hour flight from L.A., and I'm out here in aloha and loving life, even though my daughter, she got injured. She slipped in the shower. Yeah, my little 3-year-old has the 2 staples in her head right now. But she wasn't done falling. She went to the pool. She slipped one time and fell again. We were really nervous that time because she already had the staples in her head. Then she slipped again. Now, she's not the only one slipping, even though she's 3 and a toddler. Everybody. I fell twice. My wife fell one time. Yo, this hotel, they out here slipping. Like, let's just be real about it. They have comped everything for us. We got cabanas on casitas. That's not even American. That's Spanish. We got everything comped, new room, everything. So you can see this nice balcony. I ain't paid for all this. They take care of us because they obviously, we've had a compromised stay. So that's been cool. And then yesterday it just hit us because the wife was up really late at the hospital with my daughter. I was at the hotel room with the other kids, and you know what happened? It hit us. My daughters, it was time for naps. But we're 3 hours behind Pacific time zone, so the kids are all over the place in terms of how they feel. And they were like, let's just go up to the room and go to sleep. They went up an hour before I went up. I was still outside with MJ chilling. And my wife, I come in the house and to the hotel room. Guess what they doing? Jumping on the bed, clowning around. I was like, wait a minute. Y'all were just burnt at the pool, tired, fatigued. Y'all need to get some rest. Just charge up your battery for an hour or two. Go back outside. We still gonna have a lot of day left. Have some fun. That was at 3:30 p.m. in Hawaii. Guess what time we woke up? Today, the next day at 6 a.m. Yes, we went to bed from 3:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. The only time we woke up was for like 30 minutes around 11 o'clock. And that was just because they had to go potty. We had to change their diapers, and they wanted some snacks. So they ended up having some Ritz crackers and some Lay's potato chips because they slept through dinner. I did too. We were burnt. That flight, the time changed, them at the pool all day, the humidity, everything jumped on them. I say it again, 3:30 to 6 a.m. with a pit stop for 30 minutes. Unreal. So let me just tell y'all, after this show, I'm about to go get it, brother. Oh, yeah, I'm in the zone. So let's get into the show right now. And let's start off with this MVP race that is starting to turn into more of race, like racial, than just a race. I'm like, damn, it's just MVP versus a potential MVP. Let's talk through it. Everyone's talking about Jokic versus Embiid, and they're forgetting that Giannis is right there. Jason Tatum is like in 4th place, and he doesn't have a chance, even though he had an amazing year. It's really Jokic, Embiid, Giannis. And let's discuss those 3 candidates right there. Now, a lot of people are saying, yo, Jokic has won it twice, 2 in a row. Is you going to get it a 3rd time? Y'all got to be real. This dude is playing his best basketball right now. Shooting, 63% from the field? Insane numbers. In the Western Conference, deeper conference, got a great team and a real team, formidable team. Y'all got to give that boy some love. However, I know voter fatigue. Y'all like, man, another one? For real? Like, all right. So then it gets to Embiid, who deserves it as well, but also is getting a little bit of that boost, a little bit of that nitrous from he hasn't won it yet. Now, they went against each other. I think it was in January when he dropped 47 and 11 or something like that, 47 and 18, excuse me. But then they played each other like last week. And now we know Embiid was in a little bit of the rest mode, load management / a little calf injury, etc. Point being, when it comes down to splitting hairs, and you got moments like that, you can't just rest on your laurels. You just can't say, oh, I took care of business against him. I know it's silly. I know it's petty, but this is how voters think. So we got to think the same way. Now, what about Giannis? The case for Giannis is this. Yo, Everyone's saying that they're the odds favorite to win it all. Celtics, of course, in that conversation as well. A lot of people are pointing towards Milwaukee, despite Chris Middleton missing most of the year. So Giannis had to carry the load. Giannis been out there beasting. I know, here we go again. He's won it twice. Here we go again. Jokic just won it twice. So you get voter fatigue. But that's not fair. That's not right. That's not how you're supposed to judge this. It's supposed to be 1 year in a vacuum, without any momentum coming in from the fact that you won it before, or without you being discounted because you haven't won it before, or getting pumped up because you haven't won it before, and all of a sudden we want to see this traveling trophy touch someone else's hands. So that's what's really going on right now. Let's leave the racial conversation to the side because I don't think that plays into it. Let me just dispel that for a second, because I know Kendrick Perkins put his toe into that, and obviously, y'all went at him. What has there been 9 white players to win the MVP since they had the MVP? So what is that, like 40 black? Like, that's a weird way to show racism. Like, give it to the black guys every time. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all stop being silly with this. When it's a race card to be played, trust me, y'all, we can play the card, but don't look for the card in your deck. Don't look for it in your hand. A lot of times, in at least this situation, it's not. I'm just laughing because what if Giannis comes in there and sneaks both of these guys? I think that's going to be far-fetched because he's won it twice. I know how y'all think. I know how voters think. He's won it twice. Jokic won it twice, but Jokic is playing his best ball ever. Is this Giannis's best ball? It's close, but I don't think this is his best ball. And he's not in the Western Conference as well. We're going to see how this 3-horse race, and I mean really a race, not racial, is going to play out. But I just want to see what you guys talking about in those comments because it's been fun to watch. But now we're getting close to that finish line. Coming up next, don't never shut up. It's your boy, Marcellus Wiley, about to talk about the LA Dodgers, and one of their fans went all in on his proposal. Well, y'all know me before. I've been engaged a time or 2 or 3 or 4 times, right? So let's talk through engagement proposals and what this dude did. She better say yes. That's next. Don't never shut up on Brinks TV and Reese TV. Where's my chalice? Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy, Marcellus Wiley. Man, it's time to talk a little baseball. And I know what y'all saying, man. Every time Marcellus talk baseball, it's never about baseball. You're damn right. I stay in my lane. Man, mess around. Y'all start talking about war and all this crazy stuff. Used to work with Max Kellerman. That dude loves some baseball, and he used to make me go to sleep. Not because baseball's not fun to watch, especially live, and it's fun to play, but just as a casual observer, stop playing, dog. There are other things I could be doing with my time than watching dudes spit out sunflower seeds and wait for a fly ball. Like, it ain't happening, right? So while you're watching the Dodgers game, if you caught this last week, there was a fan who I guess got a little tired of watching those guys blow bubble gum and spit out those sunflower seeds. So his ass ran on the field. But he didn't run on the field to streak. He didn't run on the field to mess up the game, even though he did. He ran on the field with his heart first, right? With the purest of intentions, to causing so much attention that he got the spotlight and then he could shine. And what did he do this for? Because he wanted to propose to his girl. Now, in the middle of him taking that knee and screaming out, Becky, 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 or whatever her name was, Suzanne, 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 Latashika, Latashika. That's my sister's name. I had to clown. Latashika, Latashika. Whatever he was screaming, ain't nobody heard him. All we did was watch his ass get bum rush Ray Lewis style in the middle of, I guess, honey, will you bow? Take that, take that, take that, P. Diddy style. So it made me laugh, first of all. Like, he went all in. And I did see a recap video where she said, of course I had to say yes. Look what he did. I mean, just the effort alone, of course I'm going to say yes. I know there's more reasons for her saying yes than the fact that he made a fool of himself and got knocked out for it. But point being, good job, security. Y'all were on the mission because the baseball field is hella big. One thing about baseball, you go to the actual game, you be like, oh, I'm going to stop clowning these dudes. They're athletes. Yo, what they got to run 90 feet just to get to the first base? That's 30 yards. Like, that's a long way, bro. You got to run 30 yards after you hit it, and then you see the outfield. Shoot. That outfield is gigantic, humongous, and them dudes be reaching for it, right? So he got at least to the center field, and then he got on the knee, got knocked out. Proposals. I know a lot of guys think that, hey, man, I got to do it special because that means it's special. That means our relationship going to be special. We're going all the way. Like, that's what you're thinking, right? I hit that note, too. Man, them proposals, I guess they mean something. I think they don't mean something, but let's talk through it. I am not proud to say this, but guess what? When I mess up, I am going to be honest. I'm going to be transparent with y'all. I'm always going to show you my scars, not just my achievements, right? So I've been engaged not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. That's what happens when you're young, dumb, and got $5. That's what happens. You can go buy engagement rings when you like somebody a lot, or don't mess around and love her. Oh my God, you running straight to Zales. So let's talk about my first one. My first one wasn't at Dodger Stadium. Nope. But it was in LA, and it was in the bedroom. Yeah, I should have known this wasn't going to work. I think I was 20 at the time, still in college, scared as hell of the NFL experience, like just watching all these guys, talk about how wild it was, how crazy it was. And at this time, I was religified. I had a great woman. She was older than me, so my family didn't necessarily like her or love her, but they're like, her old ass just wants you because you got some money. And I was like, she ain't that old. She was 27. Even though she didn't really want to say her age, which made me suspicious. I was like, I know you're 27, but because you don't say it, make me think you might be 37, damn it. How old are your old ass? So she was 27, I think, and I was 20, right? So not that bad. Come on now. She wasn't rocking the cradle that much. She was fine, though. Go ahead, girl. So I'm in the bedroom one day, and I ran the Zales already, spent all of the money my agent fronted me, all my little $10,000. I spent like $3,000-4,000 on that. Rest of my family and a couple of outfits, you know, gator boots, had to floss out. And just in the middle of the night, kind of felt like I just rolled over, got on the knee out the bed, crumbs in my eye. Will you marry me? I thought it was heartfelt. I thought it was as romantic as I could get. And of course she said yes, because I was young and about to get some money. She said yes. We didn't last 6 months. That engagement was off. All right, my second one was actually, you know, a little more special. I went to Niagara Falls. Once again, I went to Zales. I'm on my first contract. Y'all better stop. And then I got that one, and that was cool. And I was like, all right, so I'm in Niagara Falls, this beautiful backdrop setting. And, you know, I'm on the Canadian side, so you know it means something. It's special. I'm not on the American side, because that's, man, you didn't even cross the border. You didn't even cross the country. So I'm in the special part, right? And the waterfalls and the mist, and I'm just sitting there with that backdrop. Will you marry me? Yes, all right. We ain't last another 6 months, I don't think either. Hey, I was a nut, dog. I was a bad, bad boy. I can't lie about it. I tell y'all about those stories another time. Third one was actually, I was like, all right, this is it. And it was with Jason the jeweler at the time. If you guys know who Jason is, he's big time. He got 7 stores worldwide, Tokyo, everything, Dubai. Guess what? I was his 3rd client ever, right? Out the trunk, old school. But I got this from him. And this one was in San Diego. Once again, I should have known it wasn't going to last. We went to a railroad track. I was just trying to really like get some symbolism. Like this is a intersection and a parallel crossing of my love, how I used to be. And I know it wasn't flattering. I know I wasn't my best version, but with you, things have changed. So now I am at a crossroads. And that's what it's supposed to symbolize. We didn't last another year. Okay. So now I'm engaged to the 4th one, which is Anna Marie. See, I protect the guilty. I ain't say any of those other names. And I'm with Anna Marie. I invite all her family out. We get this luxury tour bus. We riding around the entire city. They have no idea. But I had rented out the Griffith Park Observatory, overlooking all of Los Angeles. And you can see the other worlds and galaxies from the observatory. So now this is special. And we had banners all rented out. had everything. So we went through the whole tour of the city. Her family was just loving life because they just thought I flew them out to LA to just see the city since they're from Canada. And then we pulled up to the Griffith Park Observatory, and you see these big signs, huge signs. Will you marry me, Anna Marie? And she broke down in tears. And this one I knew was going to last. You want to know why? I actually cried with her. So that's the special one. That's the fourth one. Who said it? 3 is the magic number. 4th time's the charm, damn it. And that was 8 going on 9 years ago, love and life. So whoever you are, dog, who ran out there and said, Suzanne, Latashika, whatever the hell you said, man, because you did it in a special way, I think this is the special one, and it's going to last just like mine. Or else it won't. All right, coming up next on Never Shut Up. Oh, man, the NBA, they got the new CBA agreement that has some interesting clauses in it that I know the players going to smile about. Let's discuss that next on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV and Reese TV. Yo, I think they can smoke weed now. Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy, Marcellus Wiley. Oh, man, I love it when there's labor peace, right? Because then the money just keeps flowing. And that's what's happening in the NBA right now and the NBPA. I'm telling y'all, if they don't hurry up and change that, and the NBPA is like, it's not bowling, it's basketball. NBPA does not cut it for me. But yes, they come to a 7-year agreement on their collective bargaining agreement, the CBA. And let's talk through some of these line items, the one that really sticks out to me, a few of them, right? The first one is now they have a requirement that you play in at least 65 games of the 82. That means you can miss how many? Go to, what school did you go to? All right, you know it is. It's 17 games missed. After that, you missed that 18th one? Sorry, bruh. You ain't winning MVP. Ooh, you're not going to win some of those major awards, Defensive Player of the Year, et cetera. What do y'all feel about that? I like that. I'll tell you why. Because, one, it serves your fan base, whether it's fair to the players or not, because some of those guys are load managing. And some of those guys just get hurt, right? If you get hurt and you're not load managing, like a Chris Middleton, imagine if he could actually be in the MVP conversation, but certainly could be in other conversations. Well, you missed more than 17 games, bro. Sorry. And I think it's unfair to those guys, but it's certainly fair to the fans in terms of promoting the spirit that's necessary for fans to spend their hard-earned money going to the games because they want to see the stars. So now you're like, if the stars are incentivized to go out there and not only play for the love of the game, but also to put themselves in potential chance of winning some of these awards, perfect. I'm going to the game because I expect LeBron to be incentivized to be out there playing because LeBron wants to win one of those awards, and it goes down. Jokic, Embiid, Jason Tatum, et cetera. So I think that's a positive. It makes that the fans and the players are properly and mutually incentivized. Good call. Now, for y'all who are really hurt, sorry, bro. Better not be major hurt or else you're going to be in trouble. They also got a new in-season tournament. Trying to tinker around with that. Obviously, the All-Star game is something that makes us say, we can fix this. We can do something with the All-Star game. What was the score this year? 190 to 300 or something crazy? Like, it was just silly. It's just getting too high. Guys are not really out there playing, not even in the fourth quarter like it used to be. It's just you're only playing for money times in a couple of minute spurts there. Now, it's not as broken as the Pro Bowl is because the Pro Bowl's broken because it's a physical sport. And not a single person ever outside of Dick Butkus and Ray Lewis has ever raised their hand to play extra football the way that you're supposed to play football. Everyone else is like flag or else. And even flag was whacked this year. Let's just be real. So they're doing this in-season tournament to try and figure things out, try to tinker with it and see if this is going to give them some more juice. Interesting. I like that. Now, I know the players going to love this. They took something from the players. You can't win an award if you're hurt. So guess what they gave the players? Y'all could smoke weed and be okay. What? They have removed marijuana from the drug testing program. So I can hear right now, rest in peace, Nate Dogg, smoke weed every day. Them cats going to be blowing big. Smoke weed every day. One, the first thing that hit me when I was in the league playing football versus basketball was how much dank them suckers used to smoke. I was like, dog, y'all puff big. Like, I knew dudes in the league that was blowing, but y'all puff big and ball. Yeah, dog, calm my nerves. Yeah, dog, I'm good. I remember doing interview after interview, and I'm protecting the guilty, so I would never say a name. And I'm like, dog, you so loud. And then he go out there and give you 40 and 10. I'm like, how you do it? Like, I take one piece of a gummy, and whatever I was going to do the rest of the day is affected. Like, it is not going to be the same. And these cats be out there loud. I mean, Snoop Dogg little homies and still beasting. So, look, I ain't stupid. I know you can smoke and still function. But it was just crazy. And now the NBA like, yeah, y'all can really function. Boom. You can function and go out there and just blow big. And we're not even testing for it anymore. Smart play by the NBA because they already been blowing big and they know when the test is coming, and it was almost a dummy tax. Basically, it's a stupid tax if you get caught because you know it's coming and you know what they tested for. All you got to do is lay off for a few weeks. All right, what else they got in here? The players will be able to invest in the teams via an NBPA selected private equity firm. NBA and WNBA teams. That's dope. You know what's dope about that? Ownership. Yeah, it's time for these players, instead of having these high-ass salaries and, you know, they retired 2, 3, 4, 500 million they made. Them owners like, yeah, we made that in profits plus some, and we still got the equity from owning the franchise, which we're going to be able to sell for billions and billions of dollars. So no one's saying players, oh, man, woe is you because you weren't making money. It's like you could be making more money. And why not? In a partnership, that should exist. So now instead of being employer-employee, they are now heading in that lane of partnership. I love that. Let's see how many guys take advantage of that resource and how much publicity that resource gets, because that is major. Players also have the ability to promote and or invest in betting and cannabis companies. Woo! They'll be allowed to sign non-gambling endorsement deals with sports betting companies. Yes, forward thinkers, forward thinking. Y'all know that gambling's coming, y'all. I mean, they're having it now where it's in arena, in stadium. You can gamble right there on site. In 10 years, when it's legislated throughout the entire country, not just on the federal level, but the state levels, everyone's in agreement. Sports betting's okay. Once we get to that place, I give it 10 years. The money's just too grand for you to ignore. Even if you're hesitant, even if you're one of these states like, nah, California has some restrictive laws, I know that. Too much money, too much easy money. All you got to do is put out your PSA, hey, be responsible, and then let everybody go at it. That's how it has to be. Vegas is there for a reason. Now Vegas is going to be everywhere. So smart play. I hope the players invest in that as well. Obviously, you got a little murky situation in terms of sports betting companies and obviously the games, and some games potentially being blown because of that blurred line between gambling and non-betting. We'll see where the NBA comes down on that. But right now they said, hey, you guys can invest in this as long as it's a non-gambling endorsement. We'll see how that plays. All that sounds like a great thing for me. If you're in the NBA right now, good job, labor peace. And if you're a player, not only do you have labor peace, but you got you a joint in your mouth while you play. These dudes about to be out there winning. Let's see how much scoring they have now, how much defense they play on that thing. Coming up next on Never Shut Up, oh, man, it is time. Full episode. Angel Reese, Caitlyn Clark, LSU, Iowa. It wasn't just a game. Oh, more. It was a battle. Now it's a war. Let's have a conversation about all the things that played out in that LSU national championship victory. That's next on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV. See you tomorrow, Reese TV. Peace. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley. We about to talk it now. Caitlyn Clark versus Angel Reese, LSU versus Iowa. We all heard or actually supported, so we know that the ratings were insane for this year's tournament, especially the women's tournament as well. And it was in large part because of the matchups, and you just kept hearing, even I caught myself watching a couple of games, and I am not a fan of watching the college basketball game, men's or women's. I'm not, I can't lie. Baseball's right there with it. But I caught myself watching a couple of games because such a great tournament. Let's just be real about that. Now, one of the storylines, like I always tell you in sports, we need storylines. It's not just good enough to see people compete. We already know you're trying your hardest to beat the other player, other team. But when we can get something personal, when we can get a storyline, when we can pour some hot sauce on this, now we're all hooked. We're all in. Well, the national championship game that was won by LSU certainly had one that hooked us. It was Angel Reese versus Caitlyn Clark. Now, y'all all saw what happened. She hit him with the John Cena. She hit it with the ring point and the Caitlyn Clark celebration, of course. That's what they're calling that, even though we know she borrowed it from someone else as well. The whole "you can't see me," right? I mean, what we going back to G-Unit? Didn't they do that back at G-Unit days? Like, first of all, y'all crack me up when people try to own stuff. Ain't nobody owning jack. Like, somebody makes it more famous than somebody else. But the first dude who did this was not Young Buck. Wasn't John Cena, wasn't Caitlyn Clark, wasn't Angel Reese. It was some dude. I don't know his name, but the point is he's the one that should be mad. Nobody else should be. But the point is you saw that. And Angel Reese followed that up on her celebration in front of Caitlyn Clark. I don't take disrespect lightly. Oh, got a little Michael Crabtree, Richard Sherman coming out of this one, right? And y'all remember that one. That, to me, is still my favorite, like, storyline in the game. Forget when y'all try to sell a rivalry, and y'all selling a rivalry with new players who don't even know those other players, but they just buying into the story. I like it when it's personal. When Richard Sherman said, "Man, don't we ever try to have no mediocre receiver on me." That's what I need. And I love the fact that Angel Reese is taking this that seriously to come to that place. Now, I know that's going to ruffle feathers. Why is it going to ruffle feathers? Because everyone's going to hide behind sportsmanship. And in sportsmanship, we are taught to celebrate with each other as a team. Or, and the only other option is, okay, we'll let you celebrate against that other team, but don't make it intentional. Don't make it specific. Don't single out a player. Now, we don't even like you going against that other team, but let's be real. If you score a touchdown, your celebration is with your own teammates, but it's for that other team. But that's where they draw the line. Oh, I love you, Angel Reese, when you said, nah, that line ain't for me. I'm going to step across that line and single out Caitlyn Clark. So when we did that, it opened up a can of worms. Let's start off what it did and what those can of worms look like. Angel Reese, let's use her words for herself. All year, I was critiqued about who I was. Reese told reporters, okay, I didn't fit in the box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood. I'm too ghetto. But when other people do it, y'all say nothing. So this was for the girls that look like me that's going to speak on what they believe in. It's unapologetically you. Okay, ain't nobody stupid. We know where she's going. She wanted to make it racial, right? She thought that the coverage of her was unfair. She thought the coverage of her was racial, and so therefore she had a response to it. Now, going against Caitlyn Clark, you're going to have a conversation because it's not just race, obviously black versus white, but people are going to take it to the game, who's the better player, et cetera. Well, let's slice this one up. When you go there, I want to make sure that the criticism of Angel Reese, and I'm not Angel Reese, and I have not read all the clippings, but we're going to have to separate because social media is a whole different animal. The reputable sources and publications from somebody just clowning you on Twitter. And I know to her, it really doesn't matter where it's coming from. If it's the Washington Post or if it's some dude who lives in Washington, D.C. Like, you clowning me, right? So therefore, she takes that as critique, even though some of those are from places above board. I dare to challenge her or anybody to show me a reputable place that actually called her ghetto. Ooh, I hope not. Or called her hood. Now, I understand there could be choice words. There could be dog whistles everywhere where you're like, you didn't say it, but you said it. But at the same time, only thing I take from what she said is obviously she felt that people were coming at her because of her color. That wasn't fair. They wasn't coming at Caitlyn Clark like that. But once again, I don't know everything that happened to you, Angel Reese, and you don't know everything that happened to Caitlyn Clark. But in general, let's have this conversation. If you felt that way, then I understand where you're coming from. But why are you coming at Caitlyn Clark like that if she's not the one who did that to you? You see what I'm saying? Your fight is with someone else. Your fight is with others, but you brought it to Caitlyn Clark because you were mad at that. And that's how we usually always fight. We got a problem at home. Why? Because we had a problem at work that day. The boss came at you crazy, right? And you're like, oh, I had to eat it. Everybody coming at you crazy during your day. And then you go home. Guess where your problem lies? At home. You take it out at home. You took it out on Caitlyn Clark, but Caitlyn Clark wasn't your problem. She just was able, in your eyes, to get away with something that you felt that you were going to get demonized for. I think you kind of confused those things, but you're young. I get it. In this situation, the only thing I also want to add is we got to stop saying anybody at any level, and I don't care how old you are, that you're unapologetically you. If you're growing, if you're evolving, you're doing amazing things, you're also making mistakes on that path. You need to apologize for those mistakes no matter who you are. I have. You will. Everybody must. You can't go through a world where you're unapologetically you, because that's not this world. That's not reality. We all fuck up. We all mess up. And for this mantra to continue to have legs, I'm going to be unapologetically me. No, what you should say is, I'm going to do everything with conviction. However, that doesn't mean there are times where I will be indicted because I did the wrong thing. Now, that's the court of public opinion indictment, where people are going to suggest things against you. So people are going to look at you and condemn you. And I get it. And who wants to be in that position? But at the same time, you got to understand you're not perfect either. So it's okay to apologize. That's really a shield we're putting up. That's really some like force field. We're saying, hey, I don't give a damn. I'm going to be me. If someone ever says that, take a step back and allow them to hear the words that they just echoed. They'll realize that that's not how we got to go. That's not how we're going to grow, and that's not where you should go. So that was the only thing I had in criticism, is the fact that she took it out on Caitlyn Clark because she felt like, why is Caitlyn Clark getting away with this? But Caitlyn Clark has her own criticisms to deal with, and y'all don't know this, and I'm not taking up for her, but let's just balance the conversation out. She grew up having to play with the boys, and I know y'all like, what's wrong with that? Well, she couldn't find a girls' league for her age growing up, so she joined the boys' league, her dad says. They end up winning the AAU state championship, and the parents complained she couldn't be allowed and shouldn't be allowed to play with the boys, they said. She shouldn't be able to play with the boys. She was probably out there beasting too, right? And isn't that crazy? She got her own complaints to deal with, but she doesn't take it out on the other team, or does she? The point is, no matter who you think somebody is, and you think they have no issues, they have no wrongs, they do nothing wrong, they have no faults, talk to them. You'll find out they do as well, right? So this was an interesting battlefield, I should say, of what Caitlyn Clark was going through, but in that losing moment, wasn't about to pop off, wasn't about to show out, and Angel Reese. And what she was going through, and she was holding her breath for LSU to get that victory and finally let it out on anybody around her, especially the best player in the game, Caitlyn Clark. So this made me think about one, race, obviously, because we made this racial. It got vilified in the racial component, and I'm always going to address what's real. I'm not going to hide from any of those issues. That was a part of this conversation. Two, I keep telling you guys, there are women's sports and there are open sports. There are no such thing as men's sports. You saw Caitlyn Clark prove that once again. If you're good enough as a woman, you can play with the boys. You can play with the men. The men's game is really just open. And then there's women's game too. You protect. A man cannot play with the women, but a woman can play with the men. I just wanted to highlight that to you as well. This was interesting too. Another case study of the better player losing to the better team. Caitlyn Clark was the best player on that court, but she lost. And that gave even more fuel to LSU, even more fuel to Angel Reese to say, ha, 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 can't see me. But at the same time, she was able to say that because she had the squad. She had her crew with her, and her crew was able to beat Iowa. And that's why she was able to go at Caitlyn Clark. But Caitlyn Clark probably looking like, y'all want to make this a one-on-one? Yeah. Anybody want this smoke? And that's interesting, too, because what happens when the better player loses to the better team and still got to eat it, despite that player knowing I'm the best at what I do? If I were on LSU, good night, and vice versa, right? So I thought that was an interesting layer. Celebrations are supposed to be done with your teammates only. But when you cross that line, and I don't have a problem with you crossing that line, bring the smoke, bring the pain, Richard Sherman style. And Angel Reese did just that. Y'all need to lay off her. But the thing that I also saw that people were saying, and people don't even catch themselves sometimes when they react, is the fact that y'all really saying, but in the women's game, aren't they supposed to be classier? Aren't they marketed different? Isn't it a different expression? Oh, man. Equal rights comes with equal treatment, right? And that's got to be enforced. And this is a great example of Angel Reese doing exactly what we've seen guys do. And when the guys did it, lit their ass up too. Richard Sherman took hell for it. Crabtree took hell for it too, because good, you getting clowned, but also was able to play a little bit of the victim card in that. Well, same dynamics right here, and I love it. I don't want it to be different for the women's game. Oh, they have to act a different way. Oh, they're supposed to be a different style. No, they out there balling to their best of abilities as well. So guess what? That comes with the same consequences. Angel, you're going to feel what Richard Sherman felt, and he got vilified for it. Take it. The whole too ghetto, too hood stuff, come on, man. We know how that goes. And we know who says that. And those are not the people you should actually harbor ill feelings towards, because they're knuckleheads, right? And I don't think anybody above board was saying that, but you may have heard that. You may have felt that. But Caitlyn Clark didn't say that. So I don't know why you felt that way for or against Caitlyn Clark. It's just funny, man. I love the sociological experiments that are always intersecting sports with life. Always right there when they collide, you can see real world problems, real world issues right there, just on the basketball court. Amazing to see. So in summation, I love what you did, Angel. In summation, I love Caitlyn Clark taking a high road. Like, look, we took a L, you know. When we win, it's supposed to be we. When we lose, it's supposed to be me. And she said that, like, I could do better, and I was just happy for my teammates, et cetera. Both of them did no wrong, but in a world where everyone's opinion is going to be thrown into the pile, and then you got to sift through it, it's easy to see why people get confused and sometimes misunderstood, and more so will take it out on the wrong things or wrong person. Thought it was an amazing game, amazing tournament. Glad it went that way because, hey, Caitlyn Clark certainly got her shine, and LSU got their shine. We'll see what it all comes about going forward. We'll see what happens. But Caitlyn is special, y'all. That's the Michael Jordan of basketball. And LSU, salute to y'all for going out there and getting it. And y'all can't see LSU right now. That was funny. All right, y'all. Y'all know how we finish every show. Let's get it. Wileyism. Oh, let's get to it. Be smart about being stupid. Oh, man, that is a good one. Be smart about being stupid. Because I know a lot of times you want to act up, but you got to do it in a smart way, right? All our mistakes. Even when someone wants to say, I'm unapologetically me, and then they change who they are. So I guess you apologize, but we got to go and grow, right? But be smart about being stupid, right? If you're going to act a fool, have your crew take care of you. If you're going to act a fool, make sure you ain't doing it on camera. If you're going to act a fool, be discreet. Whatever you got to do. We are humans. We are prone. We are designed to mess up and learn from it. But you got to be smart about being stupid. That's what it's about. So I love that, man. I've been so smart about my dumb stuff, and I'm not perfect. I tell y'all all my stuff, all my engagements. I tell you guys the real. All the times I've been arrested or whatever the hell, all the times I've been in trouble. But I've been thankful to be blessed, at least with a lot of mercy and grace. And more importantly, I got to admit, kind of smart about being stupid. I hope you guys are too, man, because we all make mistakes. So make sure that you're smart about being stupid. That'll do it for today's episode of Never Shut Up, all the way from Molalale, Lobate, Lala, Aloha. Love you guys, man. We're going to chop it up tomorrow. Oh, man. I can't sleep now. I slept for 28 hours, so it's time to go have some fun with the little bitties, the itty bitties and the kitties, man. Have some fun, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.